Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, happy Saturday. Today, let's talk about what happened yesterday. We had a little dip, but the bigger picture is this. Big banks are FOMOing into Bitcoin, and there is a rally incoming, but let me show you the data. Let me prove it to you guys that these big banks are saying one thing, but doing another. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. Take a look. Bitcoin, yes, unfortunately, yesterday afternoon, we had another sell-off out of nowhere, about 63,000, and then boom, we went back down to 60,000, and now we're coming back up, 61.1. We could be getting right back up to 63 again, but you know, recently we've been having some mysterious entity that's just selling Bitcoin for no reason, even though ETFs are still showing healthy inflow. And I don't know, like we just don't know. Like you still see the whales like Mr. 100 and others that are still buying. And today, let me show you more about who else is buying. But yeah, that did happen. But again, recently we've been having a lot of volatility. Okay, we're still above 60,000, which is great, which is still higher than, say, a week ago. And you know what? This is just temporary. We will get through it. We always do. But right now, there's just some mysterious entity that's selling. Maybe it's Mt. Gox. Maybe it's FTX. I don't know. No one have seemed to been able to pinpoint exactly who is dumping. It's not the miners either. Miners are now starting to buy as well. So it's kind of strange. But no less, doesn't matter. Like I said, this is temporary. Okay. Now, as for the big banks, right? Are they really buying? Well, JP Morgan's CEO, Jamie Dimon, still claims that Bitcoin is a decentralized Ponzi scheme. You know, he has doubled down on his negativity around Bitcoin. Yet it was just determined that, yeah, they bought Bitcoin ETF. Like, you have to, I don't even get this. Like, it's like you're hunting down, you're looking through code or something, right? But people found they did buy Bitwise's Bitcoin ETFs. So, I mean, here's the thing. You have Jamie Dimon. When we know this, he's one of the biggest Bitcoin bears. He's been saying nothing but negative things about Bitcoin for quite some time, but yet his bank now bought Bitcoin ETFs, have offered Bitcoin everything, Bitcoin custody, Bitcoin even trading, Bitcoin advisory service. Like their financial wealth division does offer Bitcoin and Bitcoin SPY ETF to their clients. I mean, they're in tune. They're one of the partners of BlackRock. I mean, they're so in tuned or ingrained into Bitcoin services and now buying Bitcoin, yet Jamie Dimon is still putting on this farce that, hey, I hate it. My bank will never be involved with it and blah, blah, blah. I mean, again, sometimes they say one thing, but they're really doing another. So don't let this fool you. And it's not just JP Morgan. It has been revealed that Wells Fargo also holds Bitcoin ETF. So like all these big banks are FOMOing in. They are buying Bitcoin. Like I said, even though short-term retail investors are kind of worried about short-term volatility, but these big banks, big financial institutions, they are not. They are continuing to buy behind the scenes. The big boys are buying, right? So you got to follow what they're doing because they're planning on something. They're not just buying because they're like, oh yeah, let's just try it. No, they have a plan. They want to make big bucks and they kind of know that this is the future. Why would you want to miss out now? Everyone's feeling that FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Especially seeing what MicroStrategy has done and how their stock has performed over the last 4 years. I mean, everyone's feeling it, right? And this is proof because now these guys have to reveal. Okay, there's like some kind of law that says, you know, people that are holding on to the ETFs have to reveal. And now we're seeing some of the biggest companies on the planet reveal that they have bought Bitcoin spot ETFs, and banks are among them, right? And here's the other thing that's really funny about JP Morgan. So even though Jamie Dimon is still negative, they just published something talking about Ethereum ETFs and how even with SEC's Wells notice to Robinhood, it does not pose an obstacle to the eventual spot Ethereum ETF approval. So even JP Morgan is very bullish on ETH at this point. And it's not just them. Everyone's trying to come out the Ethereum spot ETF right now, right? But even JP Morgan is publishing, it's like, hey, don't worry about the FUD. Don't worry about Gary. He's probably not going to be in charge for much longer, right? We're still very hopeful and bullish about Ethereum spot ETFs. So think about that. Again, coming from a big major bank, right? And this, I think, will help. And I've said this before. I don't know why all the fund companies decided to like put staking rewards inside their Ethereum spot ETF application. You know, staking, according to Gary and the SEC, is still considered, it makes the underlying asset a security, according to Gary and the SEC. So trying to incorporate Ethereum staking rewards into these applications just made no sense. So now they're realizing, yeah, that's probably a mistake, and they're removing that part. And now, without it, I do think the chance of approval is much, much greater, right? Get approval first, then incorporate other things like staking rewards. But right now, let's just keep it separate. So that is the latest development, and we could possibly see Ethereum spot ETFs by the end of this year. Maybe. It already exists in Hong Kong, just not in the US yet. Hong Kong kind of led the way, but we could possibly see it in the US later this year. All right, what else is there? Like I said, the big boys are FOMOing in. Bitcoin whales acquired nearly $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Even right now, even with volatility, with stagnation, sideways movement, these guys, this is how you're supposed to do it. If you live through previous cycles, you'll know that this is normal. Very, very normal. In fact, not just normal, like super, super strong. Bitcoin has never really been this strong in previous cycles. We saw much bigger dips. Much, much bigger dips along the way. This time around, we had some dips. We just had a pretty big one around 23%. But still, that's very tame compared to previous cycles, right? And these boys, these big boys and whales and institutions and banks know this is the time to be picking up. This is the time to be loading up, not time to be selling, okay? Again, there's just a lot of data around this. And if you want more proof, you know, like stuff like this that shows you, oh, this is perfectly normal. In 2016, we had a major, major dip. Major, major dip before Bitcoin even hit $1,000. Think about that in 2016. 2016 may seem like a long time ago, and in reality, it is 8 years ago. But in my mind, 2016 was like 2 years ago. I don't know. Maybe because I've lived through this for so long and I've been in crypto for so long. I don't know. Like 2016 to me seems like it was not that long ago. But, you know, it is 8 years ago. Whatever. But 8 years ago, Bitcoin was still below $1,000. So again, I've lived through that, and a lot of you guys, again, a lot of you guys may be new, and I get it, and you're panicking about Bitcoin being at 61,000. But remember, 8 years ago, Bitcoin was still struggling. Okay, look at it in 2016. It was struggling to break $300, $400, and then finally, when it broke to 850. Wow, you know, that's a huge move. And then it dropped back down to like 500. That's like a 40% drop. And people that got feared out missed that run from where that is, that green mark at $500 to $20,000, right? That's exactly what happened. And even on the way up, you can see all the red, the down spikes, right? The sudden drops. So now, obviously, we're what? 10 times, no, 100 times higher than 8 years ago. So yeah, we still have drops. It still looks very similar, but it's so tame now versus before when we had 30-40% drops out of the blue all of a sudden, right? It's a different ball game. Yet, we're still kind of mimicking the same kind of movements. It's strange, but it's true, right? Here's something else from Willy Woo that's talking about this risk signal and how it printed another lower high, which is always bullish. I don't even know what actually this covers, but Willy Woo is pretty smart. And if you look at what he has drawn there, basically, I think it's just signaling the risk of Bitcoin going downwards, maybe. I don't know if that's what's measuring, but Willy Woo is pretty smart. And he has a lot of these custom indicators that do quite well in terms of predicting where Bitcoin's going to go. So there's that. And then, of course, let me show you this. Well, again, when in doubt, zoom out. Look at all the previous times Bitcoin has gone down, gone back up, and hit the previous high, and then what happens afterwards? It takes a breather. It doesn't actually just skyrocket afterwards. Again, in 2016, 2017, and happened, you could see it circled right there. And even in 2021, right after we broke through 20,000, we didn't just skyrocket upwards right away. We actually did stay there for a little bit. And that's exactly where we're going through right now, right? So again, history doesn't repeat, but it tends to rhyme, and we do see a lot of rhyming. So stay strong. Stay strong, my friends. All right, let's do some Q&A. Happy Saturday, everyone. Okay, let me see. David Garcia, new member to the channel. Welcome. Gary of the North. Welcome. Let's see. The solar issues will be throughout the weekend and more impacts on the way, so networks could drop. There's something like Northern Lights or something like that. I have no clue. I've not been keeping up with that. Rylan from Hawaii, welcome. Are you able to see how long I've been here, Stephen Young? No, I have no idea. If you're a member, then I could. I could look through some of your history, but like, I have no idea how long you've been here. Okay. Kevin. TMI. Kevin Mendoza. Blair, how awkward is it going to be for Jamie Dimon interviews now that it's been revealed that JP Morgan is bullish on Bitcoin? See, any interviews he conducts, I think he's already told the host, hey, don't ask me about this. Because there's so much evidence that JP Morgan is fully involved and in tune with Bitcoin and Bitcoin activities and businesses around Bitcoin, yet he's still so negative. So I don't know why no one just calls him out. Like if he does an interview, one of the hosts should just say, "Hey, I have proof here that JP Morgan has bought Bitcoin ETFs. I have proof here that you guys have, you know, suggested Bitcoin to your wealth clients. I have proof here that you guys are a custodian for Bitcoin." And I don't know, you could go through a lot of other stuff too. They have advisory services, all this stuff, right? But no one calls him out on that because he's probably like, he's probably like, if you ask me these questions, I'll never come on your channel again. So that's probably why. Richard, thoughts on Turbo? Really, no thoughts on Turbo. It's an old AI generated coin. Crypto Glow. I've been watching since 2021. I know there are some of you guys that have been watching me since 2017. I started my channel in 2017, late 2017. I think it was September, October timeframe. And then it started out really good, meaning the numbers, although if you watch those videos, they're god awful, awful. But I learned along the way, improved, got better, and here we are. Press O'Neill, how is it illegal to FUD a coin stock you could buy so you could buy it on the back end? Like statements like this, JP Morgan is just too big for the SEC to take on, right? Like, I don't know, or Gary doesn't care because it's true. It's true. Gary could go after Jamie Dimon for saying that he's manipulating the markets to his benefit. I mean, they have done it before with silver, right? So he could go after him, but they don't, he doesn't want to. I doubt he wants to take that on. I FOMO'd into Chuck at top, think it can recover. I hope it can. It did one of the weirdest things, like a huge sudden drop yesterday at night. It had the most steady chart, and all of a sudden it just started tanking. But it's up a little bit. I hope it can recover and continue forward. AK says I sold for a loss last night. I don't know. I have no idea. Some big early investors, I guess, some whales decide to sell it, but it is back up, not all the way. I hope it can. Um, will rich kids own all the layer ones one day? I don't know what that means. You mean like all the rich will hold all the coins of the L1s? Is that what you mean? I don't know. Maybe. But there's always new ones coming out. Launch your own token, man. Yeah, I don't I do. Every so often I do think about it, But then I think about the repercussions of that and the negativity that could come from that if it starts doing poorly, like I don't want to deal with that. What do you think about Treasure T Wallet? It's a solid wallet. It's a solid wallet. Just like all the other Ledger wallets or all the other hardware wallets. They're all solid. It's just another method to kind of prevent mistakes. But ultimately, the most important thing is the recovery phrase. If you lose that, if you lose the recovery phrase, then you're screwed. There's no way to recover. If you store that on your computer and your computer gets hacked, the treasure is not going to prevent you from losing your crypto, right? So you have to know how to secure your seed phrase or your recovery phrase. Otherwise, those fancy wallets mean nothing, absolutely nothing. But, if you do a good job and you keep your treasure like in cold storage, so it's offline, it does add a little bit more protection, right? A little bit, again, takes, I guess, the human error out of it. Flavio says handwritten in a fire safe. Yeah, I think you better make sure that fire safe is really fire. I mean, there's usually a time limit of how much you, if you stamp it onto a card that's fire resistant in a fire protected safe, that's probably the best you could do. Eduardo says your guys in Dirty DJ are killing it. Big fans, love the alpha. Yeah, they really enjoy doing it, and they're doing a good job. So I'm glad to hear a lot of you guys are enjoying it. Tonight, my other guy Noah, who has been doing ChartStorm by CRU Plus, I'll be joining him and the Dirty Degen guys, Scott and Josh. We're all go join in tonight. To help him like transition to being live instead, because he only concentrated on TA and doing charts, and I think that makes a lot more sense live, right? So that'll be tonight, 7 p.m. on CryptosRUs Plus. I'll probably tweet it out too. Barry B. Langer. Been watching you since you were on Meet Kevin. I find you speak the truth, which is more important to me. Thanks for your honesty. Well, thank you. That interview actually did really well. I have not kept up with Kevin. He's been through a lot, it seems like, over the years. But yeah, I hope, I don't know if he still talks about Bitcoin or anything or crypto in general. I hope to talk to him more about it in the future. No, I don't hold any Ben coins. Looking for a definite 1000x gem. S-Kid. I mean, S-Kid was hyped up before, and then it went down. I don't know if it's kept up or not. Yeah, it hasn't done that well. Let's see if Chuck recovered a little bit. Okay, that's good. Chuck is back up to 19 million. That's good. But yeah, like last night, you had some big whales just dump it down, down all the way to like 11 million. And that was kind of scary, but now it's back up to like 19, which is good, which is solid. If it could build from here and come back up, it'll be great. But it had one of the greatest charts ever for a meme. And then all of a sudden yesterday, it dumped back down. But 19 million is still pretty good. Crypto Heli. George, my wife said I've been more focused on your stream since 2017 than I am on her. Any advice? Um, I don't know what to say about that. I guess I'm flattered. Okay, I guess I'm flattered by it, but yeah, maybe you should pay a little more attention to your wife. What do you think about Kulo and Big Red now, all-time high in the future? Well, I'm hearing about some stuff happening with Kulo soon. And even though Kulo Swap came out, there'll be a Kulo Swap 2 that is being worked on. It's supposed to be a lot better. Um, so I know that the guys are still working at it. And of course, Big Red is involved with that too. So both projects are going through some major development right now, which I think can help them in the future. So I know it seems like they're just slowly trending downwards, but they are working on improving the product and the community. What are your thoughts on Brett's dog, 300K cap? It's probably too, never heard of it. It's probably too soon. You should talk to the Dirty Degen guys about it. Do you think Floki could hit 50 billion market cap at peak? 50 billion is a lot. Okay, that's even beyond Sheep's market cap in 2021. So I would say no, but you know what? This cycle with as much money that's already in and will be flowing in. Yeah, maybe, but still, that's like a 35x from here. I think that's a little bit too much. Best Acura model, please. Oh man, I just heard a lot of bad stuff about Acura. Their sales are tanking. No one is buying an Acura right now. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a normal car, then I'd say if I had to pick one Acura, it'd probably be if you wanted a fun one, an Integra Type S. If a family car, probably the MDX. That's really it. Everything else just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. How's the carnivore diet going? Still going. Still going. I think I just need to incorporate more exercise now. I haven't seen any more weight loss. I don't know, maybe I am thinning out a little bit. I feel like the shirts fit a little bit better, but no weight drop. Knee still feels okay. Been pushing it more. So it gets sore a little bit sometimes. It's not like it's completely healed, but it is still way better than before. But I think I just need to incorporate a lot more exercise now. Yeah, new drivers only video. Josh and Steve's been helping me with it. I join in a couple times, but there's a lot more car videos on drivers only. If you guys haven't checked it out, separate channel, something that I've been working on for 5 years now too. Cutting out carbs besides fruits and vegetables, a game changer, feel much better. I mean, what it really comes down to, whether it's keto or carnivore, is you just have to cut out the bad carbs, right? Some good carbs I think is necessary for fiber. Fruits, if you avoid the very sugary ones, and you stick with like the berries, I think that's a good diet. And then, you're not really missing out. You get the nutrients, you get the fiber, of course, you get the benefits of protein and fats, and then you just have to exercise. And I think that's really it. I think if you just stick with like something like pure carnivore, I think you're going to be missing out on some stuff that you need. Even like Liver King. I still come across some of his videos periodically. Even he is not on a carnivore diet. Though I saw one video where he was eating sushi with rice. So it's like even he has incorporated like a alternative carnivore diet. Which actually makes rice doesn't actually make any sense, but still. Anyways, Soul Hits. I like the car review videos. You're very fair in your reviews, pros and cons. Yeah, I try to take things into consideration. Like if I'm reviewing a $20,000 car, I'm not gonna compare it to a $100,000 car. It's not fair. But if I compare it to another $20,000 car that's better in some way, I'm going to point that out, right? Or if it's worse in some way. So that's kind of how I see it. Your thoughts on ST Bot Soul chart? Not a charter, man, but it sounds like it's some kind of bot. Trading bot? Yeah, no thanks. Plans on going to Tijuana next summer for stem cell treatment. I like water. I've thought about that, but since I've been on carnivore, my knee has gotten a lot better, so it's not like as urgent. But maybe someday I'll consider that. Mr. R, welcome. AI tech GPU, no thoughts on it. Sounds promising. I've looked at it before, but I don't really have any more to say about it. There are a lot of projects that's jumping on the AI bandwagon, obviously, saying that they're coming out with a decentralized network that can share GPU processing power, basically what Render is doing. There are a lot of projects like that, newer ones that are coming out promising the same thing. I don't know if that as a deep end play is enough. Like how are you going to get more traction as a project compared to, say, Render? There has to be a differentiator. And some of these, they all seem like they're just riding a wave, but I don't know if they have any differentiators. All right, guys. I'm on a camera. My camera is too low. Anyways, Happy Saturday. I know Bitcoin took a little dump yesterday, but you know what? Don't let these guys fury out in the market. Don't let Jamie Dimon make you think that Bitcoin is a decentralized Ponzi scheme when in fact fiat is the biggest Ponzi scheme ever created. And even though he's talking a lot of FUD or causing it, JP Morgan and the biggest banks on earth are all FOMO into Bitcoin and Bitcoin ETFs right now. So stay strong, my friends. I will see you guys tonight. I'll be on ChartStorm with Noah and Dirty Degen guys on CryptosRUs Plus. That'll be 7 p.m. tonight. I'll make a special appearance. Sunday walk video tomorrow, and I will then see you guys on Monday, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Take care.